Hundreds marching for justice.
I'm out here for my kids. I'm out here for every black person in America. I'm out here to create systemic change in our justice system so that everybody has equal opportunity, equal rights under the law.
And many in their cars showing support.
Racist people are not being held accountable.
Ending here to make sure their voices are heard.
No peace!
Obviously, black lives are being targeted. So we gotta stop that.
One by one, stepping out, speaking to the crowd.
Being silent is violence! Yeah.
It's not fair out here for us. The biggest thing they could do to help us is listen to us and stop this injustice from happening to us all the time.
They say this march and protest is not just about George Floyd.
We don't want kids or adults or anybody losing anybody that they love.
They tell me it's about all the people who died before him at the hands of the police.
All of those names was like water behind a dam. And George Floyd was the last name that came to that dam and broke it. Now the waters are ready to flow.
It's about putting a stop to police brutality and about making sure police everywhere are held accountable.
Equality, the same laws that they enforce, they should be following.
Social distancing. Everyone's saying it, everyone's suggesting it. So what the heck does it mean? 6 feet.
6 feet distance away from everybody. This is social distancing. Now this is not social distancing.
So first question, is it realistic?
Bogus, silly.
You can't even sit at a table and be 6 feet away.
What are we supposed to do? All of us just supposed to stay far apart and not communicate?
Yes. Susan Elliott has breakfast for one, 6 feet away from everybody else.
We have to take this very seriously. I mean, it's very concerning.
And that's not easy.
Of course, it's nice to be out among other people, especially when you're retired, which you can't do now.
So the next question, is it effective? Dr. Jay Gupta.
Absolutely, it works very well. It has been used in almost all outbreaks.
One outbreak in particular doctors point to, 1918 Spanish influenza. In Philadelphia, with no social distancing, 250 people per every 100,000 died at the flu's peak. In St. Louis, with almost immediate social distancing, just over 50 people per every 100,000 died at its peak. When Philadelphia finally implemented social distancing, deaths plummeted.
Well, Chris, there are 335 new cases of coronavirus, and as I stand here in downtown Fort Myers, I've seen a number of people wearing masks, some not wearing masks. I spoke with many who call the rise in coronavirus cases concerning, and they say something needs to change. In downtown Fort Myers, as more stores and restaurants open up, more people are venturing out, both with and without masks.
Definitely wear them.
Mary Garcia and Lisette Lopez say they're just getting used to eating at restaurants again.
I definitely, if I sit inside, I have to be at a distance. If I have to sit in a crowded area, I won't even eat. But if it's open like this and there's nobody around and it's outside, I'm fine.
That way, she says she feels safe without a mask. But others, like the Estero Council of Community Leaders, want to make masks mandatory.
The bottom line is that we are absolutely convinced, based on all the research that's been done and the advisory given by the CDC, that masks do make a significant difference in protecting people from this disease.
And with 5,500 new cases in Florida today, Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz and several other Democratic members of Congress sent the governor this letter asking that he set aside politics and mandate masks.
He's taken this nothing to see here approach, and he puts political pandering over our public health. It's going to cost lives. And it's very clear that you can reduce the number of cases, reduce the likelihood that someone will get the coronavirus if you avoid exposure to other people's droplets.
Depending if you're like isolated and you're inside a restaurant or too close to too many people or too much of a big crowd, then yeah. But like if you're outdoors and you're in the beach or something, I don't think so, as long as you keep your distance.
From his hospital bed in the medical center behind us, he told us before he thought coronavirus blown out of proportion because with all these cases, he never knew a single person that tested positive. Now that person is him, and he's fighting for his life. Stand-up comedian John Lober loves to make people burst out laughing when he's performing.
Just a salad because I had a big lunch.
But tonight, his message about COVID-19, a sober one.
It was a serious condition. And if you think that you're not going to get it, well, I hope you don't. But I also thought I wouldn't get it.
At Gulf Coast Hospital, battling COVID-19 and pneumonia. Every 3 hours, a CT scan of his lungs, blood work. Every moment, harder to smile.
No one can come visit you. You sit here and, luckily you have social media to connect, but like no one can stop by.
And Lober says he thought social distancing was lonely. He also thought it was a joke.
Because I have not taken this seriously at all since the beginning. I thought the quarantine was overkill.
Last Thursday, hours before a comedy show, suddenly dizzy and sweating, he canceled the show.
And I was all excited because I hadn't done a show in 3 months.
Now, it's difficult for him to think about all of the precautions he never took.
I see the numbers on the news every night, and I was just like, those are just numbers. I don't know anyone who has it. How bad could this really be?
But a true comedian, Lober wants to see people smile, see people healthy, and never see them go through pain like this.
And my lungs are getting worse and worse because of the pneumonia. So I'm not going anywhere anytime soon.
Ash, soot, and charred trees surround Cynthia Trapp Blasucci's 22nd Street home.
We've had fires that have come close but never experienced anything like this.
When she looks around her property, she sees the things that have now turned to ash. The trailer, gone. The barn, burned down to the ground. The grass on their property, blacker than charcoal. And a couple of their cars, completely unusable. But
my family home that I've built since 1992 that raised 5 of my kids and some of my grandkids
still stands. She says it's been through plenty of floods and hurricanes, and she's lucky it's gotten through this fire.
We can rebuild everything else. It's all good. It's just things and stuff, and but it's memories. Like this thing, this is what they used when they went to school, and now it's just all soot.
Now there's just one thing left for this family to do.
We can rebuild. We got a lot to clean.
It makes it very easy, so that we decided to come, and the haircuts are free today.
That's right, free haircuts. For over 10 years, Twin Cuts has been helping sweep away parents' stress as they get their kids ready for the first day back to school.
For some people, this is the only time they can actually get a haircut.
But this time around, it means a little more.
But this year, being COVID and being a little bit more difficult for our families and getting adjusted going back to school, this is our way of saying thank you to the community for supporting us.
Trying to help cut out worries for parents like Sarah Seaton, who hasn't had an income for months.
We haven't worked in quite a while, so it's good.
Not only did about 1,000 kids receive free haircuts today, but they also received school supplies donations to give out to about 200 kids across Southwest Florida.
Despite their own struggles during the pandemic, they just want to let their customers know they are here for them during these times.
Just to be able to give back to the kids, it's a lot of unfortunate families out there and stuff, so it just makes me smile.
An effort that doesn't go unnoticed by their customers.
I really appreciate it for doing this and for cutting other people's hair today for free.
It's been really exciting, especially in coronavirus where people aren't working. To have a free school haircut and free supplies outside is great.
Andrea Guerrero, Wink News, now.